big line, yeah.
Okay.
He came up with that this
And then
morning.
this morning I texted him, because I wasn't sure if he was coming or not.
Yeah,
I
February is
asked
not
him
a
to
good
send
time.
me, I didn't know if it was
So
at one
many
point
people
might
at
have heard
Fairfield.
of the radio station.
That too.
And so I said, I'd like to know if there is one, what that is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's so
And in the
cute.
Is it
conversation,
cool? I haven't seen it
so
yet.
I love it. Managing that.
Tommy has a picture.
Okay, yeah, like that is, I like
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at that guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just didn't want to.
and then we're gonna get.
Yeah, no, I think, I'm sure he was hoping that that would happen, you know, but, I think he's gonna present the next site.
Anybody heard from Chris?
No.
Yeah.
And they ask you, so they give.
Great job.
Yeah.
It's okay. They did say.
I verified that one.
Deal by me, and they don't, now they're not.
And it is a fact.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
Yeah, there it is.
I'll give him a few minutes or a chance to answer.
I would have thought he had seen the email yesterday. It said tomorrow.
Actually.
Is it?
It's gotta get that double B's cup.
That's right.
Yeah, no, I can't think of it.
That's right.
I was gonna tell you, you need to take Kristen to see that show.
Yeah,
Y'all
is it
just need to
good?
go. It was great.
I would love to see it.
Crazy.
Yeah. He's playing the dad,
That's
right?
where he got
I
sponsored.
mean, it was
3 or 4
sponsored water.
Remember we talked about
Yes.
water sponsors?
Oh,
Yes.
Oh,
There you go.
it's not that far. Okay, I gotta check.
Any of them.
Any of the, yeah.
Any of the events.
All of them.
Terry's kids.
Everything goes in holiday lights.
Yes.
It's really good.
And the biggest one is Light Up.
Flown over a few times and
I mean, there's 500 plus people there.
looks awesome.
Seven Birds are only sponsor right now besides Rogers because of the Kool-Aid, but a lot of people don't like. Yeah, you have it with your bank logo, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's fun.
Let's go.
Over and
Oh, I bet.
No, we do.
Yeah. Yeah, you need to.
I mean, that's what I want.
This is gonna sound a little strange.
Next time you head out there, just let me know.
Yeah, I will.
I don't know
Yeah, it's
why,
funny,
but like I'll
anytime I
drink a
get a chance to
bottle
go out, I
of
will.
that
And it's
in a
in
bottle
the-
of great value, and it
Yeah.
doesn't taste the
I
same.
think so too.
It is just water, but I don't know why.
Yeah.
Maybe it's sitting
Last-
in a warehouse for years or
It-
something. I don't know. It just, to me, it just doesn't taste very good.
All right.
Phil, let's talk about that.
Yeah,
before-
yeah, yeah.
before November.
All right, well, I haven't heard from Chris. But let's get started.
Sounds good.
Call this meeting to order. Have y'all had an opportunity to look over the minutes?
Yes, sir.
So move.
Motion to approve, yes. I have a motion by Tanya, second by Gary. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right, Tim, the financials.
Good morning. So we ended June with 2.8 million in the bank. It's about $103,000 decrease. We had 2.95 last year. Of that amount, 1.1 is reserved for projects that are approved in debt service, and 1.695 is unrestricted. So still have quite a bit there. On the income side, brought in 154,000 in revenue last year, or last month, compared with 146 in the prior June. So almost an $8,000 increase there. Pretty strong. 875,000 for the year compared with 791. We're up 83.5 in total revenue for the year. On our expenditures, we spent 799,950 on grants and debt service. 496 of that obviously was the debt service. 303 roughly is what we've paid in grants to events and all that kind of stuff. Compared with, last year, we only had 249, because we just started servicing the debt at that point, so $247,000 difference on that, on debt service. Overall, we're down $47,295 in fund balance compared with, last year, where we made 230. Like I said, the majority of that's just the debt service change. And I anticipate we don't have a whole lot of events coming through the now and the end of the year, so all our large expenses are kind of done with for the year on the events. Admins are tracking right where they have been. No issues on collections. One thing we kind of heard whispers of, as the legislative audit's been going through our stuff, is they'd like to see an approved budget, so we're working on kind of getting the ball rolling on that, so we can get a 26 one approved. But no big deal on that.
We can retroactivate that one.
Right, they said we can approve it backwards, and they have some people that never do it until after year end, so. We'll be ahead of the ball on that at least a little bit, and we can have 27s done in January for next year.
Do we know when those findings are gonna come back?
I'm not sure when those will be. I mean, they're still hammering some stuff out, I think, on the city, and they've still had a few questions this past week on ours, so they're still working on it, but.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you, Tim.
No problem.
I bet that trailing 12 months is trending up. I mean, pretty good compared, like I've noticed, you know, we're probably getting closer to 145,000 a month or something. In an average of trailing 12 than we were previous couple 2 or 3 years. So it's been good.
Definitely, and then we're having a lot of openings, and I think that's gonna really, and then like you said, the golfing really brought in some people, so I'm interested to see when we get the results from that month as well.
Yep.
Okay, next up is a marketing proposal from Food Travel Magazine. They had reached out to the chamber, who funneled it to us to get our opinion, whether this was something we wanted to do or we didn't want to do. The cost of that would be $12,500. It would be the fall issue and the winter issue, and it will also be on their website for the whole 6-month period. I reached out to them and asked them some information. They have 33,000 subscribers, and they sell roughly about a 40% rate of what they print after that as well. The website received 4.8 million visits last year. And it's just like I say, it's something they've reached out to us because it seems that Arkansas is near the top of travel these days, and we're getting noticed. Michelle, would you like to weigh in on this?
My thought was just if we want to consider a national placement like this, that next year might be better for us, as we would have more things to promote to attract people to Searcy from outside the state. Right now, there's a lot coming, but to specifically plan a trip to Searcy without an event or something that you're coming for, I think would be a little bit of a stretch for the cost of that placement.
Yeah, I agree. I think unless you might wanna ask if it's a small amount, like a baby step, you know what I mean? If they have something for $2,000-3,000, try to just get people excited, then we can probably do bigger next year after everything open, might probably. So I think to just get the name out, what Searcy is, maybe small banner ad or something reasonable, I think we can probably do that. And
Yes,
I think
sir.
might probably help you next year, what people looking at, if they have more data, then you might probably know where to pinpoint, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah, so you might wanna consider, like, check it out, then you can probably send us an email. If it's something $2,000-3,000 to just get who we are as a Searcy, then I think it's worth it. I think like if there's a lot of people who travel, they usually look for this magazine, right? A lot of time you travel at the airport, you open the book up, you see the Searcy name, But I think 12,000, I agree with her sentiment, we should probably wait until next year, yeah.
Okay, so I'm confused where it says winter 26/27. Does that give us both additions?
It's probably just December, January.
Yeah, it
Okay,
gives us,
I got
it
you.
gives us the fall
I see.
and it gives us the winter. Is what it gives us.
I mean, we could go back and try to negotiate that price, try to just get our name in there and see, you know, and tell them, hey, you know, next year we're looking at the bigger picture.
Okay, what I'll do
Baby step,
is,
yeah.
what I'll do is they gave us an extension because they wanted an answer last week.
Mm.
So I'll tell them, I'll reach out to them this afternoon if they don't keep me to it. And, you know, tell them what we discussed and see what options we have and go from there.
Perfect.
I'd like to see some kind of mock-up too,
Yes.
just so we have an idea of what we're talking about.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. So we're not really tabling it, but we're not discussing it either, so no actions needed on that. Okay, we're supposed to have a funding recap on the robotics, but I don't see Todd's here, so we will move on to funding request. First up is the Gym Masters Holiday Classic.
That's me, I think.
Coach Lee.
It is. I was gonna make all of you a copy of this, but our printer at school started running out of ink, because it is summertime, you know? So, just kinda look through that, I'm an ex-accountant, ex-farmer, so all of my estimates are gonna be high on the expense side, because I'm nervous. This is the first time we've ever done this, so we're basing all of this off of all our income coming from donations, okay? Because the school's gonna cover all of the venue expenses, the arena expenses. They'll cover the gate workers, the clock keepers, the referees, etc., from all of the gate money we come in. So we're running the tournament based off of all donations, okay? And I figure it's gonna cost anywhere from $22,000 to $25,000. Okay, and where I get those numbers, you can kind of look. First page, I put who we have sponsors so far, and we're actively looking. Our girls coach just got hired, and so she wasn't around much, so I was doing all this on my own. She's going to come in. We're going to go start kind of looking around. We used to have a bank classic where all the banks in town were in. This will actually take the place of that, and we're going to bring in 16 teams. We had 4 teams that would come in for the Bank Classic. This will bring in 16, well, it'll bring in 14 teams because Harding and the girl and us, both of us are in it. So there'll be 14 teams coming out. So we're going to, we've got tiers of sponsorship if you'll look there. The bronze is $250. I don't think that's gonna be hard. I think we can get quite a few of those. Silver is $500. Gold, of course, $1,000. And then y'all would be the only platinum member. So what y'all would be, Gym Masters is the name we got with them early on, and I didn't even know about y'all until we put on the soccer tournament this year. And Betsy Bailey got a hold of me and said, "Have you talked to the A&P?" And I said, "No, I don't understand." And what you're talking about? She showed me y'all's page, filled out the paperwork. Y'all would be basically everything we put on social media, everything we put on T-shirts. It would be presented by Searcy A&P. So it would be a Gym Masters tournament, but y'all would be on everything. We'd put it out there. I'm asking for $7,500. We'll take anything you give us. And what I mean by that is we're still in the planning process because this is a first year deal. I'm basing it off of the one I used to have in Manila, and we had 2 steel mills up there that gave us a lot of money. Okay, and so we didn't have to worry, but we had to bring a bunch of teams in. Manila, as you can understand, is not a real a destination point for people to go over Christmas break. We can draw a lot more now. You're going to see I put in here the teams that are in it. So if you flip over, you'll kind of see the list of teams, boys and girls. Searcy, Harding, both boys and girls. Bologna, boys and girls. Valley Springs, boys and girls. Okay, and then Clinton, boys and girls. So both teams. Anytime we can get 2 teams, it obviously brings more fans. If you can get both of their teams. We had Joe T. Robinson, boys and girls. They got a new coach. The girls thinks they're real good. They wanted out to go to the King Cotton. We're going to get to a point where this classic will be as good as any in the state. Okay, but to do that, we have to spend some money, and we know that up front. If you look on the boys' side, we have very good teams. Pulaski Academy, Joe T. Robinson, Bologna and Joe T. are both, I think, top 10 preseason 5A schools. I think we're gonna be in the mix for a state tournament berth this year. We would have had it last year had our point guard not gone down with a spinal stroke. Craziest thing I've ever seen. Pulaski Academy is one of the best 4A teams in the state this year. They've gotten a lot of move-ins, I should say. Clinton will be really strong. And so you look over at the girls' side, and it's just loaded. Like Equipment's a 2A school, but their girls' team program is phenomenal. I've watched them. We had them at a couple tournaments. I've seen them in the state tournament the last few years, and they're really, really good. Hardin Academy, Valonia will be a top 3 team in the 5A this year in girls basketball. They got the good girl from BB to come over. They have the twins. They have all 5 of their starters back from last year, and I think that they made it to the semifinals. I know they made it quarterfinals. I'm not sure if they won that game. I was watching it first, and I got disinterested because I didn't like either one of them. I mean, let's just be honest. So I was watching it, and I was like, nah, I don't like these two. So I quit watching. Sylvan Hill is going to be much improved girls-wise. Their coach, she played at Morrilton, went to Tennessee, played for, I just went blank, the great Tennessee Summit, Pat Summit. She's come back. She is building a program there at Sylvan Hills that's really, really good. As you can see, I put the distance from our arena. From their high school to our arena, of course, Hardin Academy's not real far. Quitman, 30 miles, Valonia, 36, Sylvan Hills, 39, Clinton, 54, which I thought that was further, to be honest with you. Pulaski Academy, Joe T, both in the 60-mile radius. Stuttgart, 70, Melbourne, 76, and Valley Springs, 113. What we told them is if you were over 75 miles, we'll put you up. So we're going to be we actually went ahead and extended that to Stuttgart. We had one team drop late, and then you're going to see some of the numbers that I turned into y'all are a little bit different than what we have now because one of the teams that dropped out, and I sent out contracts, $1,000 for a cancellation because we went to the BB tournament this last Christmas, and one of the teams dropped out like a month before the tournament, so BB actually had to put their JV team in it. So it runs your tournament. And so we made them sign contracts. One of them got out of their contract, paid us $1,000. We were like, okay, see you later. But it changed some of our numbers because we didn't have to put them up anymore. Just went over, and if you look at the next page, basically we're going to give each team 5 rooms that we have to put house, and that will allow them to have basically 16 players plus another 4 to 5. We have 21 total from our players. We have 17 players, manager, and then the 3 coaches. So anywhere we go, we're 21. Our girls, I think, are like 19 to 20. Some, like Valley Springs, will come here and they'll have 25. Some teams will come and they'll have 17. So we just use 20 as a rounding number when we're figuring our numbers. So almost every place we're going to go to Rogers for a RBS Bank tournament early December, and they give us 4 rooms. We'll go ahead and buy a 5th one on our own, but most places give 4, and it's just never enough. So we decided we'd go ahead and give 5 and let them use them as they need to. We have reached out to these 2 hotels. There are other hotels on our list. These are the 2 that we reached out to and saw, what we could do. We want to use at least 2 just to get them out in the community. If we can use more than that, if we could put one team in a different hotel, that'd be great. It's just kind of easier for us logistically to reach out to one and just be like, hey, we're going to put you all here. But I think it'd be better for the community if we use more than one. So got 2 different prices here, and you kind of see they run about the same. We're estimating around $6,000 to $6,500, somewhere in that vicinity whenever you add in the taxes, etc. So that's on our hotel expenses. If you'll look over on the budget, like I said, I'm an ex-accountant that lasted for about 6 months. I was raised on a farm. I went back to farm with my parents. I couldn't sit at the desk all day long. So when I do a spreadsheet and it's this ugly, it kind of affects me. But this is ugly. But it's just as basic as we can make it, so that I can explain it really quickly because I didn't want to take up a lot of y'all's time. 5 rooms a night, 2 nights, 4 teams. Obviously, going to run about $6,000, $6,500. When we give gifts, we're going to give pullovers. Except we need to make it attractive to coaches because they're the people that bring the teams. If we don't, I've been to places where they give me a T-shirt. Then I've been to places where they give me a bag. I've gone to places where you get things and then you're like, okay, I've been treated right. I'm going to take my team back. Then you treat the teams right, and you'll have a repeat, and then we'll start turning teams away. And that's where we want to get to. And this being our first year doing it, we want to make this an annual thing. We think it's going to bring in anywhere from 5,000 to 7,500 people outside of the teams, okay? And we base that off of each team bringing about 100 fans, and some of these teams will bring a lot more than that. So when you see the numbers that we base on how many people are coming into town, that's without Harding Academy and without Cersei fans, okay? If we can get, let's just use our fans, for example. It's over a 3-day dead period, basically, of school, so they're sitting at home. If we can just get them out in the community, get them out to the arena, then they're probably going to go out and eat before they go home. Because I know if I get up and I get in my pajama pants and my T-shirt, I'm not leaving my house. But if I can get out and go watch a game, 3 or 4 games at one time, you can buy a ticket. The tickets will be for a full day pass. It will not be per game, and it's not going to be expensive at all. I think we talked about a $7 day pass. And so you're going to get 8 games for $7, where if you come during the season, it's $5 every night for 3 games. Okay, so it's going to be a good deal, but we've got to get the coaches bought in and get them here and then get them back. T-shirts, this is an estimate because we haven't turned in really a T-shirt design. You're going to see the next page, or the last page, I can't remember if it's next or not. I kind of made a design, but I don't know. I mean, I'm estimating that it's going to be anywhere from $15 to $18. It may be 20 because they go by the number of colors that you put in your designs. Well, I want to put, if y'all are in it, we would put y'all's logo, presented by, and you'd have y'all's logo, and then Gym Masters, and then we'd have to put Gym Masters logo as well. So when you're talking about y'all are, I think, blue and teal, then you're talking about the red and black, and then you're talking about gray, and then you're talking about, with Gym Masters, they're blue and orange. So you're gonna have about 6 or 7 different colors, so they'll charge us per color. So I'm estimating anywhere from $15 to $20 per T-shirt. Well, you're talking about 20 kids for 16 teams. That's a lot of T-shirts, okay? So you're looking around 6,000 bucks. So we're sitting at, around 15 to 16,000 before we feed them. Now, what we're planning on doing meal-wise is we're going to go to different restaurants in town and try and and we're going to base it off of a $12 meal. That's what we're going to pay for. And we're going to tell the teams that we bought 20 $12 meals for y'all, but we're going to give them a card. So, like, let's say we go to Slim Chickens and we say, hey, we need a team. We need 20 people. $12 each, so $240 on a card, and we're going to do that for 2 days. So basically, they can use it the first day, and what we expect is they'll do it for the first day, the second day, and then the second day when you play, you go home. So, or the third day, you play and you go home. Now, some of these are going to go back and forth. Some of them may stay. I've paid for my own room before out of our expenses when we go places, not wanting to drive back and forth, but some of them are so close, it's not going to bother them. They're going to drive here, play, they're going to turn around and drive home. So we're going to feed them. We're going to keep them here long enough that maybe their parents will go eat here in town while they're waiting for them to get out. That's going to run us anywhere from $7,500 to $8,000, okay, by the time we figure that. I did put our team in there, and we may not, I'll feed our team, but we may not feed our team the same way. I may buy them pizzas, I may do something, may get parents to feed them, so that expense may go down a little bit. Based off of that, we would have about $2,000 left. And we would split whatever's left over. What we're going to do is use it like a fundraiser for our teams. So it'd be a girls program, boys program would get the expenses or whatever's left, and we'll split it. If it's 0, then it's 0, and we're fine with that. We're not banking on this money for the 2 programs, but that's that's the overview of everything. Y'all have any questions on it?
What makes, like, you mentioned obviously, to have a tournament like this and want it to be sustainable, like, a couple things come to mind for me. You talk about swag and making sure they're treated right, but, like, one is, like, you kind of want the tournament name to be the same.
It will be the same every year.
We've talked. You have a commitment,
like, a commitment from Gym Masters. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've committed for 5 years.
Okay.
And then we're looking, obviously, if you guys get in, then we'll put y'all as presented by, and then we would hope, to do something where we could work out an ongoing thing with you guys. Yeah. The banks, I know that they did that for years. And the only reason, and I still want the banks involved very much so. We've got a couple that have already committed to 500, and we wanted to grow it. We wanted to make it bigger.
Yeah.
We want to bring people in. I think we have the nicest arena in the state of Arkansas, and I've seen almost all of them. Springdale just built one that's phenomenal. Ours is better. Theirs has and what I mean by that is like what the people see. Ours is better. Now they have some things underneath and some other practice facilities that make it for a coach make it really, really good.
You got a golf simulator under
They
there?
do not.
Okay, all right.
They do not. They do not.
We got 'em,
We do.
So what else is it? Like what, just?
You gotta have a nice place, and what I mean by that is a nice town.
Yeah.
Manila, I don't know if y'all have ever been to Manila, it's in Mississippi County.
Yeah.
It's in between Jonesboro and Blytheville. So whenever I'm trying to get people there, I say, well, we'll house you in Jonesboro, because I'm not housing you in Blytheville. Okay, we had no hotels. We had 2 eating places. So the amount of eating places we have for the families, et cetera, is a huge draw here. Huge.
Yeah, what I love about this being the holiday classic, that can be big, like King Cotton
was the best forever and ever, and then it went
It's a big
away,
deal.
and now they're bringing it back.
Yeah, it's a big deal. But like what I love about it is, I mean, you talk about the arena being the best in the state. I mean, it is awesome.
It's
I
unbelievable.
think you're right, but also like Holiday Lights is one of the best in the state, and I love that like that's at this time.
Correct.
So when people come, they're like, oh shoot, look at all
Yes.
this thing.
I agree with that. And we've looked. We've got a little committee that we're going to start meeting once we get back into school about things that we can sell.
Yeah.
On this, but like I've had to do all this myself because literally we didn't have a girls coach. He decided not to come back during the season. Okay, and we knew he really wasn't. He was kind of an interim. We kind of knew that he wasn't going to come back. We didn't hire our girls coach until late April.
Yeah.
She started in May. She's phenomenal. She's going to be great. She'll be good at this stuff. Her mother was a very, very successful coach at Fort Smith Southside for years. Won, I think, 4 state championships. She's young. She's energetic. I'm not young. I'm not overly energetic. So she's going to be hugely beneficial to me when it comes to all this junk. People, you look at the page of our sponsors, and those are the guys. I'm going to tell y'all, I hate talking on the phone because I don't hear well on it. So I start feeling my age. And so people are like, why aren't there more sponsors? I went, well, I haven't been able to go out to them yet. Well, why don't you call them? No, I'm not doing that. These are the guys that I've been able to text. Okay. And so we're going to get more sponsors. We think we'll get a large group, and hopefully we get to a point where, we won't need a platinum. Like y'all wouldn't have to give as much. But, we'd still keep the platinum and let y'all have naming rights and so forth. And basically what comes with each one of these, I've got a sheet that I sent out to businesses. If y'all have been in our arena, we have the 4-sided scoreboard up top with the digital advertising, et cetera. And then we have a table that is, I'd say 25 foot long. I'm not measured it, but it's pretty long. And it got rolling, continuous advertising. We're gonna have a humongous sign as you walk into the arena of all of our sponsors. And then we're gonna give out free tickets to each sponsor. Depending upon, like if y'all were to give this, I think y'all would get 10 free tickets. Y'all can share it however you want to, families, whatever. But we want to get people in the building. We want to get people to Searcy. We want to get people on our campus. And then when they get here, let them see what else we have. I'm amazed at the amount of stuff that y'all have been doing around this town. I went to school here. I graduated from Harding in '99. The change in the community is just astronomical. What y'all have done as far as the stuff that people have to do now that live here. And when we get that new thing opened up, like I had players the other day. They were asking, like we had a little. We have to go year round. You don't have a choice anymore. If you want to be competitive, we go year round. And so we get a dead period. They were like, does that mean we can't get up here and live? We live 4 days a week, year round. We practice. Like I left junior high practice to come here. I'm going back to senior high practice. And I know it's July. I wish we didn't have to do that, but if we're going to be competitive, we have to. And they asked me, they're like, what can we do over a dead period? I said, there's a brand new facility right there by Sonic. And I got about 6 different videos and pictures of my players out there playing during dead period. And I was like, this is fantastic. And so when those things are optioned and kids have those options, it keeps them out of trouble. And I've got a really good group. That's what I was talking to them about. last week. I was bragging on them because I don't brag on them very much. Definitely not in front of them, but to the public, I tell people all the time. I mean, we just finished our first year. We were 12-18. We were 10-6 when Jalen had his stroke. I really felt like we were a state tournament team. We had Nettleton. We were up 14 when he gets hurt. We end up getting beat by 12. That's how important he was. I tell people all the time, he was a scoring machine. Like y'all all know his dad, Jeff Clifton. You know, has basically every basketball record in school history. And Jalen is a phenomenal kid. He had just received a full ride to Truman State, which is up in North Missouri, and they ended up not honoring it because he can't move his arms. He really can't. Like his right arm, he's getting to where he can move it pretty good. His left arm, he's still like right here in his hand. So we've got him coming back. We've got him in ASUBB, and then he's going to come back every afternoon and help us. But we were going really good, and things just kind of, I mean, after that, we had to redo our whole offense, our whole defense, everything, right in the middle of conference season. So it was rough, but we've got a team this year that I feel like can score really well, and hopefully will get us back to where we need to be, where Searcy basketball was in the 90s. You know, they've been to state tournament twice since 2001, but they haven't actually earned a state tournament berth since 2001, and that's 25 years. And Searcy basketball, that's ridiculous, in my opinion. I grew up when Searcy basketball in the 90s was winning state championships. And so we'd like to get us back to that spot at some point, and we think this is a huge part of it. If we can start getting teams in here, you know, we set out to get basically an all 5A, but whenever we got Harding, because Harding has been going to BB for years, and when we got Harding, then I was like, okay, we need a mixture so we can both be competitive. But we want to get the top teams in the state of Arkansas. And if it gets to a point where we can start venturing out a little bit to maybe a Memphis area, South Missouri, even northern Mississippi, just, you know, to give us some diversity and then also to bring people in to see the town.
Yeah, what's the maximum number of teams?
16.
Well, like that you can do well. Like you can't do more than 16.
No, you can't. Like time-wise, you can't.
Time
Yeah,
and the number
it's got to be done in 3
16
days.
is it?
16 is the max. You can
I
play
got you.
8 games per day.
Got you.
So basically start at 10 in the morning
Sorry, bud.
Yeah.
and go till about.
That's what I was gonna, how many teams how many teams historically have been the King Cotton?
There's 16. Yeah,
That
almost
was-
every one of them. Now, if you don't, so some of those, now King Cotton used to be all boys. Now they've gone to a boys and girls. And so they've had to cut their boys teams down. So they used to have 16 boys team come in, and it was a 4-day tournament. If you're going to do 16, and there was a tournament called Bad Boy Mowers up in Highland. They've started it out as a 16 team, and it's a 4-dayer. And it just got people didn't want players, coaches. It's really hard to play 4 days in a row. Really hard.
Yeah.
3 days in a row is pushing it.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're asking, especially like in our case this year, we have 7 kids that are any good. And I don't mean that bad, that are old enough and physically able to actually compete at a high level. The other kids I've got are sophomores, and they need to grow, and they need to get stronger and tougher. And so you're asking 7 dudes to play 3 straight days as hard as they can. And so that's pushing it, but that's what almost every tournament is now. And so if you're going to do that, you cap it at 8 teams, and you play so like it's a bracket, goes both sides. Get your winners and losers going right, or your winners going right, losers going left, and you just keep your times staggered. And that way everybody doesn't have to play. You keep it, the way you run it is they never have to play quicker than 24 hours before they played, or after they played the last game. Yeah. And so it works out really well. The format has been around for a while. We haven't invented anything. We're just recycling.
Are there any other tournaments of big caliber at the same time in the state?
Yeah. There's you know, the one I'll tell you, the one that's grown the most is the one up at Highland, and we offer so much more. I mean, yeah, it's a good place to go in the summer when you can get on Spring River and do things like that. But I mean, in December, I went to it 3 times when I was at Manila, and we did really good competition. They're pulling some teams out of Memphis, and we played. You know, we got to play some really good teams. Got to play whenever Springdale Harbor. I mean, they were 7A, we were 3A, and we needed to see teams like that. And so we got some really good competition, I felt, going there. Outside of that, King Cotton's running about the same time. And they've just started that back up in the last 4 or 5 years. You know, in the 80s and 90s, it was the best in the United States, in Pine Bluff. And then Pine Bluff fell on hard times and so did the tournament. And so they're trying to rebuild it, and they're starting within the state, and we have such good basketball in the state of Arkansas that it brings some people in. I mean, for a state our size, we put out a lot of really good basketball players. So.
But these teams that you've listed have committed.
No, they're committed, yes.
Do they pay a fee?
Nope.
Okay, and so they only pay a fee when they cancel on you?
Correct.
Yeah, I got
They
it.
just sign a contract, a straight up contract we get, and it says, it's just the basic
Yeah.
game contract where we say, hey, we're gonna use AAA officials, we're gonna have clock keepers that have been trained, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If you cancel on us, and I don't give them a date, like once they sign it, they're in. If you cancel on us, not cancel by, if you cancel period, your school pays our school $1,000.
And is that pretty penal, or is that normal?
It's pretty, no,
Is it-
if
it's
I
pretty
tried to cancel a tournament that we owed $1,000 on, my AD and my superintendent, y'all know Dr. Hart well enough, well, you know what he'd say. Like, you ain't leaving anywhere. I'd be like, yes, sir. So
So
we've got them tied in.
I know today is just discussion phase, but looking at the expense, this is just my take here. Really, we only fall into this player t-shirt because, we've talked about hotel rooms before, we've talked about meals and then the coaches' gifts, but looking at his mock-up here of this shirt, I kinda like that. I kinda want one myself.
It's pretty good. I've told kids I miss my true calling in designer.
T-shirt design?
I'm a phenomenal t-shirt
That
designer.
at the
I really
top,
am.
that really-
That's a good one.
I just can't find how to make money out of it.
I think you were trying to sell a point here, but anyway, I really think that's where we probably need to hone in because that is more advertising. But
And actually, with the cost of the shirts,
it,
with the amount, it's probably gonna be right there.
yeah, so, we could go up to the 7,500 on that.
Yeah, I know we're not making a decision. My only feedback would just be the breakdown on the dollar amounts.
Okay.
Yeah,
And we'll have more updated, like, I
get it.
have three different t-shirt companies here in town that I've used before, and so I haven't committed to any one of those. So I'm using and they don't have a design to go on. They're just kind of giving me an estimate. And so, like I said, I estimate high.
Well, I mean the breakdown of the sponsorship levels.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I can give you that. I've got it. As a matter of fact.
But no, you got it. I just, Gym Masters being the biggest one, us being more money, I
Correct.
got presented by us. So there's just some,
I understand.
but
sure.
love the work you did.
Didn't know that y'all existed. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know y'all
this.
existed before we started this.
Yeah, no, this is great.
And Gym Masters has done a lot of work. I've done a lot of work with Gym Masters.
Yeah,
And Barron and I are good friends. He came up to Manila and did a full floor that I still think is one of the best in the state of Arkansas.
Speaking of floors, is ours done?
We're done. Today's the first day we're back on the floor.
Yeah.
We were back on it today for the first day. They opened it. They sent us an email yesterday about 4:30 and said, hey, y'all can go back. So we practiced
That's great.
this morning. I begged the volleyball coach to say, could I at least have one day on our arena before you start up? And she said, sure. So
Good.
we're gonna get today on, and then after that, we'll be back in the other gyms, which we have good practice facilities outside of that, but
Sure.
I'd like to be in there more often.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Would we be able to use the video boards for like little commercials here and there?
Absolutely. Yep.
I think
We
thank
want you
for-
to, actually. The more we can get of that, the better, actually. Jason Sutton is the one that does all of that. He's fantastic. Last year, Jalen got hurt. He was gonna come back to a game, so we wanted to do something for him. So I put together a little highlight film, and then he got it and put it on the board, and it was fantastic. So he's really good at what he does. So,
Thank
Yeah.
you. I think the timing is perfect as a business wise. I think soon as the Christmas weekend, everything in Cersei get decked. So I think the timing wise you got commitment for 5
it
years.
will always be
Yeah.
between Christmas and New Year's Day.
So I think
always
it's a
that.
perfect timing for the community because the restaurant and hotel easily get dead. So I
Yeah.
think it's a good, unless we get snowstorm
Correct.
and then we get full,
We'll pray. Yep.
Thank you for bringing it. I think we definitely support you. No
Okay.
problem.
Thank y'all very much. Appreciate your time.
Thanks.
We look forward, we will place our vote next month.
Okay.
And, we look forward to seeing you then.
Excellent. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Hey,
Okay,
did we ever get an update on the soccer tournament?
not yet. Next up will be, Arkansas Cowboys Association Finals.
How are y'all?
We're fine, sir, and yourself?
Very good.
Tell us a little bit about your event.
It's a rodeo association finals that held, the last 10 years here in Searcy. There's roughly 155 contestants come in, and then family, friends, everything else across the state. Contestants are from anywhere from Mountain Home to South Arkansas, all over the state, and even in southern Missouri. They come in for 2 days, compete. The association is a nonprofit or not-for-profit organization. The money that we're asking for will go to help pay for the arena, pay for the extra back pins of all the stock that's brought in, the labor cost of putting it on.
The White County Fairground not supporting you? You say you had to pay for rents and everything. Did they give you some kind of lower rate and everything, like a discount rate?
I'm sorry, I'm hard hearing.
Did they give you some kind of discount rate if you bringing the tournament? You say been bringing the tournament for last 10 years.
There's no discount rate about. We do sponsorships throughout the state, because we give jackets away to all our contestants that make it to the final. We give saddles away to all the events that have 15. So we hit sponsors, hit businesses up all over the state, gathering up all the sponsor money that we can, and we'll give buckles away to the winners. 4 different buckles to each event gets given away at the end of the year. The stock contractors, people that bring stock into the finals, the association has to pay them to bring stock. Roughly, out of all the contestants that come and stuff, and just in fuel alone that they spend in Searcy, you're probably looking around 20,000 or around 20,000 that they're going to be dropping in fuel money in that one weekend, plus hotels that people are staying in because they're not driving back 3.5, 4 hours when the event's over at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, drive home, turn around, come back for the next night.
How much does the, arena charge for your rental
$1,400.
a day
No, for the weekend.
total?
It's $1,400 for the weekend. We'll spend roughly $1,000 more for additional pins being brought in and set up to house the stock. The arena's a great facility. We love it, but the event's grown enough that we gotta have more pins than what they have.
So you said this is the final, so would you say this is the biggest event that Arkansas Cowboys Association has in the year? Like this is their pinnacle?
It's one of the biggest events. Some of the single rodeos might be match it. Like we had a rodeo a couple weeks ago at Batesville, and it probably will match it. But we was able to get the A&P helped us up there, helped us on advertising and stuff, and they had roughly 3,900 people come in to that town for 2 days.
How many contestants do they have in that one?
They had, we had about, for the 2 days, it'd be 300. And that's, for the finals, you're gonna have like 155 a night, so you're getting 300 contestants. Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's not for the weekend. You'll have 300 contestants for 2 days. And like I said, most of them, they're either staying in a living quarters trailer, which is gonna require fuel and everything else, and then they're gonna go spend money on food. They don't like camping out.
Yeah.
They're ready ready to go sit down and eat summers and enjoy the meal.
So it's a 2-day event and it's different contestants on Saturday than there are Friday or whatever.
It'll be the same contestants.
Oh, okay.
It'll be the same, 155 contestants
I got you.
Friday night as well as Saturday night. Some of them will come in on Thursday night.
Yeah.
And some even stay till Sunday before they leave out.
Good late Saturday.
Yes, sir.
You said on your sheet it says this event's been going for 50 years, just 10 years in Searcy, I guess?
Well, the association's been going for 50 years total. The last 10 years it's been in Searcy.
Gotcha.
They went to Jonesboro for a few years. They were in Searcy before that.
Oh, okay.
So Searcy's been a very good town to us, to the association. It's come back and trying to make it grow and get bigger. And nobody on the board previously would want to come, do this because they lived too far out of town. So we decided to try to get money from y'all, be able to make it even bigger, to be able to advertise more, where all of our money didn't have to go in one deal, where we could be able to kind of spread it out and do more.
Anybody have any more questions? Okay, well, as I said before, we will vote in August, and we look forward to seeing you then.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good
You have a good day. Okay, let's double back to our funding recap.
Good morning. Please forgive my delay. I have a robot stuck in Shanghai, China, and it's been a nightmare getting that thing to come back. A little bit of a recap. My name is Todd Trauber, and I'm the Regional Director for First Robotics here in Arkansas. We brought this event to Arkansas 5 years ago following the pandemic, and it has been here in Searcy ever since. We are so blessed by y'all's support throughout the years, but also by the support of Searcy Public Schools, where the tournament now typically resides, as well as Harding University, who acts as a reluctant second choice. And I don't mean that in any way, shape, or form as a disrespect against the university. I work for the university, they'd fire me on the spot. No, there's all these kids that the facility is for. And so last year, we brought the university in on the project in order to host the tournament because the renovation's being done on the Searcy gym. The tournament was a tremendous success. There was a couple of things that kept the tournament smaller than typical. We were down to 25 teams where we normally have 30, and that's significant. You're looking at 150 kids, and then their subsequent families and other programs coming into the event. The one thing that really kept us down in terms of overall numbers was that the southern regional tournaments all had their tournaments on the same day. We were pushed back a week typical than we normally are. We were typically a week 2. We became a week 3 event because of scheduling at the university. And then we overrid then with an event in Mississippi and an event in Tennessee. So teams that typically would come and be a part of our event just kind of had to hold off because of conflicts. The tournament was still a tremendous success. The overall winner of the tournament was a wonderful, powerful alliance. Harding Academy qualified for the World Championships at that event. Searcy would qualify later in the year, both for the World Championships, and so both teams from Searcy were represented at the World Championships down in Houston, Texas. A wonderful kind of side note, at that tournament were representatives from ASUBB Searcy, and they have decided to start a team for next year's event. You might be thinking this is for high school students, and it is. That is what ASUBB Searcy is targeting. They are looking to open up opportunities for students from Riverview, White County Central, and Bald Knob that would typically come for HVAC services or robotics at the collegiate level, but they're hoping to then attract them and start a third strong team making Searcy, Matt's dream of being the center of robotics in all of the state of Arkansas. We are tremendously blessed by the support that we have received. Please forgive the delay in coming here. I understand the timeline, but we were at the World Championships, then y'all were on break, then we were in China. It's been the most busy 5 months of my life. But we are so grateful for the support of the A&P Commission. We couldn't do it without you. We certainly couldn't have started it all these many years ago. Do y'all have any questions that I can get back to you at any junction? Yes, sir.
I think personally I want to share positive news. I think we had a team from Mexico came in.
Yes.
And I think two,
Yes.
and one of them stayed at a hotel, and I think they're all family. They never been to country, right? So I think their family talking on a Facebook and they're sharing like,
Yes.
going to downtown. Hey, what I see in Searcy. So I think what you brought, I think our Searcy name out in Mexico. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I think what you're doing, I think, is a great thing. I think,
We have tremendous contacts with the regional directorships down in Mexico. They cannot go to Texas by rule. Texas is what's called a district, so only Texas teams can play in Texas. We are a regional, which means we're open to the world. And I've told him to just consider us the Mexico North tournament. But we will, his name is Paco Guerra. Paco is a strong supporter of who we are and what we do. He's been to our off-season event, he's been to our regional tournament, and we can anticipate continued support from the teams in Mexico.
I like to say, I think that this has been an ideal relationship for A&P because we started off with a really high funding level.
Yes.
And to get the first few tournaments to run at a high caliber.
Yes.
And bring in a lot of teams, and you've done a great job at soliciting other monies to become less dependent on us. And I think for a lot of high caliber events that are recurring in Searcy, that's the ideal.
I truly do appreciate that. We finally are starting to get brand recognition at some of the larger players. Last year, ArcBest joined us, and that was an enormous boost. Molex joined us, and Molex actually is a world championship sponsor, but they're focusing some of their efforts because of a plant that they have in Conway then on starting in Arkansas. We're hopeful then they can start teams in Conway. ArcBest sees what we do, and they are tremendously supportive of that vision. They have two teams that are not at the FRC level where we compete. They're a little bit smaller teams, but they're hopeful that they can start an FRC team as well. So these programs and plans, I've got a meeting scheduled with JB Hunt. Walmart supported us financially for the first time. We're getting the traction, and I hope that you all understand that I'm trying as best as I can to keep the costs of any one sponsor down, and y'all have just been the greatest blessing to us from start to finish.
Your breakfast was really good. The community being there, you had to.
Yeah,
that was just a great time.
We are looking to not only host that business collaboration again, we're hoping to expand it so that next year we'll have a breakfast for business leaders in the Searcy community, but then also educational leaders from around the state, and tie that in so that they can see what Searcy is doing, because the direction of where we're headed could not be done at the level that we're doing it without the full support of Dr. Hart and the Searcy Public Schools. It is just beyond compare what they've been doing. Raymond and his crew have bent over backwards to help us. I ran into him at a restaurant the other day, and Raymond was like, "You're coming back, you're on the calendar, we know." Which, by the way, we are on the calendar, and I'll be talking to you about that in the fall.
Great.
But we're gonna be back to a week 2 event, so we're not conflicting with others. And that's the second full weekend in March 9 through 11.
Cool.
I think I just want to kudos to Michelle. I think she's doing a great job, because I think we're noticing when we get a guest at our hotel, we saw an experience. So I think thank you. I think you following up and posting the event ahead of the time, that's helping reach out more, because people always Google and say what to do in Searcy or whatever. Yes. So thank you for everything you're doing.
Yeah, Pew Communication, the Pew agency has been fantastic in pushing our brand and the relationship that we have with the A&P in order to make sure that they have
I also have, I teach at the university, there's a course called Digital Marketing Strategies. We also are working on creating videos of all of the places so that we can put it out and continue to attract new business ideal as we come through.
Cool.
We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it. Thanks very much.
Does anybody have anything else we need to cover?
I was gonna mention something real quick. So we're starting work on the 2027 marketing plan. We all know 2027 is gonna be a really big year for Cersei. And so, talking to a lot of different groups and just saying, hey, if you have ideas or things that you would like us to see us do next year, let us know. We hope we can increase the budget a little bit as we have new things to market and promote. And so, trying to get to different groups of like, hey, for the people that like mountain biking, what are the best ways to reach them and what are our opportunities for that? We have a call with CJW on Wednesday to go over the Arkansas tourism plan for next year to see which aspects of that we want to do. So if you have thoughts or you have people that have thoughts, let us know, because we're going to try to get that to you guys a little bit earlier this year since it'll be some adjustments. Just wanted to mention that.
Great.
Thanks.
Yes, sir.
She just made me think of the mountain bike trails, which is actually some of the specific dollars that A&P is funding is going to our trail builder out at River Park. And so we are about to open probably our first loop in August sometime. It'll be about 3.5 miles of hiking and biking trail. We're gonna do some temporary trail signage down by the boat ramp. That would be the entrance, so we don't have to have the new entrance completed at that time so people can get out there, start hiking on it, riding on it. And so we have a big meeting today that I'm trying to hydrate for because the architects and engineers want to go ride the trails. They haven't done it yet, and they've picked the hottest day of the year, but
Wow.
you know, this is, you know, it's,
There's some trees out there.
there's some trees out there.
Are we gonna put a cooler with some water
Yeah,
or?
we need to.
Tanya, you may want to station somebody out there.
Yeah.
But I would like y'all to, at some point when this loop is done, come out. There's some really cool features that have been constructed out there. Like I said, they're hiking and biking, so it's really cool. So super excited about it. But we'll keep you up to date on it. But yeah, thanks for the trail. I think there's a ton of people already out there. I have a group that rides pretty regularly, just so we can try to keep it maintained and hammered down a little bit before we open it to the public. But
Cool.
people are super excited. We had a group of Cabot folks that are on their NICA, their kids program, come up for a video shoot that Michelle put together for us a few weeks ago, and they were just blown away by it. They were like, their season starts in the fall. They're like, when can we come ride it? We want to come practice up here. And so,
great.
pretty exciting.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
bet.
Thank you for the update.
Anybody else? That, the meeting is adjourned.
Hey, Reese, if we could ideally, I mean, if you can't, it's okay. We have 3 big events. We have lighting night, and then we have a surprise lighting night, and then we have Paris at Light Stadium. But you could do 50, 50, 50. Is that too many? Okay. Just make sure that your logo's
I
on.
say, that'll let me touch
Bridges.
We just dropped off
Like-
Cameron, Space second.
So that's right there, bud.
I mean, we want you to get the recognition.